of Volume 4A. The Honorable Senator Asige, I don't know whether she's here, probably listening to where she is, asked an extremely important question, Mr. Speaker, sir, which affects the aspect of verifiability. Verifiability. Even on these IP addresses, we have left the issue of the MAC address, of the MAC addresses. Let's look at these IP addresses. I listened to the Honorable Senator Asige asking that question, and I said, maybe that is the real issue that the Senate also need to inquire about. What was the issue? How many Wi-Fi? They say that if you have a gadget and you access the system, you will use a Wi-Fi. That's what they said, Mr. Speaker, sir. Is that right? Yes. They say that then 9 MCS can have the same IP addresses because they access the same Wi-Fi. Again, that's what they said. I'm not picking this from there. Statements from the word of mouth. So the question is, if you look at these 33 IP addresses at page 29, page 32, page 29, 30, 31, 32. Mr. Speaker, sir, look at these IP addresses. Are these IP addresses the same? Mr. Speaker, sir, there are some which are the same. And this was pointed out. There's an IP address which features really prominently. It appears 9 times. This is 41, 139, 237.129. This IP address appears 9 times. 9 times. The ICT experts who appeared here say that it's also possible to do a geographical search of these IP addresses. But there is no evidence in the Senate that a geographical search of these IP addresses was done on the aspect of verifiability. But this IP address appears 9 times. So what does it mean? That somebody accessed, they accessed a particular Wi-Fi 9 times. But Mr. Speaker, sir, if you look at these logs, you will see that there are many other IP addresses. So the question is, why are these IP addresses different if you are all within the county assembly premises, the house? You are accessing the same Wi-Fi network. And they say that if you access the same Wi-Fi network, then you need to have the same IP address. So the question is, why are these IP addresses different, Mr. Speaker, sir? Is it possible that the Kericho County Assembly has 6 Wi-Fi routers? Because when I counted, I saw. And Mr. Speaker, sir, you can count for yourself the different IP addresses that appear in this document. And that was the query which was raised by the distinguished Honorable Asige. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, we submit that we have a very big problem before this House. The problem is that there is no certainty whatsoever based on the testimony of the 3 expert witnesses on who voted, on who actually voted. Their votes are there, but who actually voted? Instead, Mr. Speaker, sir, the possibility is that somebody may have accessed this publicly available data and voted for anyone else. And that is the information which, that is the evidence that is before the House. And because of time, Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to then conclude by saying that based on the provisions of Article 10.2 of the Constitution, the system which was deployed by the County Assembly on this vote, Mr. Speaker, sir, on an important matter concerning the removal of a governor from office. That system is not transparent, it is not verifiable, and therefore the results from that system are not verifiable. And on that basis, Mr. Speaker, sir, I urge I urge the honorable senators, Mr. Speaker, sir, that you allow our preliminary objection and throw this issue back for the where it came from, because it does not meet the constitutional threshold as required by Section 33(2) of the County Government Act. I yield the floor to my colleague.
For the record, my name is Katwa Kigen, Counsel for the Governor. And the nature of my submissions will be more towards the aspects of facts. And Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable senators, we hold the position that the governor has responded to the factual allegations of the claims made by the county assembly, and that is captured in his affidavit, volume 1, the affidavit in volume 1, page 1 to 31. And the allegations that had been raised by the county assembly are 9, and all of them have been answered. It relates to management of a program called NAV-CDP, FLOCA, Kasim Tani, Strategic Intervention Projects, Londiani accident, dismissals, subversion of county assembly activities, and bullying. All those issues we've answered, and we pray that the senators and Mr. Speaker, sir, they be looked at as answer to the allegations. Now, in more particular, I would like to say this. The allegations are in 2 categories. The first category is old complaints that were brought here before you in September 2024. And the second set are new claims raised by a report made on 5th of August 2025, and attendant to which an impeachment motion was initiated on 6th of August 2025. In respect to the old complaints, which is constituted of these particular 3 items, the first one is the issue of Kasim Tani. The second one is the issue of Londiani accident. The third one is the issue of private land. Our first attack on that, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that the standing orders of Kericho County prohibited and prohibits the need to consider those allegations. The standing order number 70A, subsection 2, is to this effect. Despite paragraph 1, probably I should read from paragraph 1 for context, 70A says this: a motion by any member for the removal of a county governor by impeachment may be reintroduced in the county assembly on the expiry of 90 days from the date of a vote by the Senate. Subsection 2 is to this effect. Despite paragraph 1, a motion for removal of a county governor by impeachment may be reintroduced in the county assembly on other grounds other than the initial grounds that were highlighted in the previous impeachment proceedings. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable senators, I put a lot of premium and emphasis on the use of the word grounds that were highlighted in the previous impeachment. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is our contention, contrary to what Honorable Rogony said when he was testifying, that to the extent to which those grounds were captured in the motion, were moved in the county assembly, were debated in the county assembly, were voted for, and were brought here. To the extent that those things happened, they had fitted into that word of highlighting. And for that reason, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable senators, it is our submission that indeed it should not be here. However, I would like also to make supplementary comments about those allegations in our defense. I would like to start with the issue of Kasim Tani. And my learned friends for the county assembly said that the Kasim Tani was rolled out without proper legislation and that some funds were lost. May I just explain that Kasim Tani was a concept where the Kericho County Executive proposed that successful bidder contractors were obligated to engage local youths and women so that they would benefit from the contracts that were run in their neighborhoods. And so the payments for the youths and the women was to be paid from the remuneration or the payments due to those contractors. So it's not like it was funds from the county. Absolutely not. It was funds that were payable as part of the contract money. In that situation then, there was no need for any policy, there was no need for any legislation to have been in place. So that's our first answer to that allegation. The second explanation that we have is that indeed in our response both in September 2024 and in this time round, we explained and provided lists of youths and women who are paid on those projects. We are aware that similarly the County Assembly, through the committee that purported to investigate, came with a list of youths and women. And our position is that there is nobody owed, and if there is any amount that is owed, they should go to those contractors. But significantly related to that allegation that there are some people who have been deprived of their due payment, it is our contention that the Senate is not the forum for their claim for labor rights. If they had any complaint about their rights for work done, they should have gone to labor court or should have reported to the police or even gone to civil court. And to that extent, therefore, Honorable Senators and Mr. Speaker, sir, we are contending that the issue of Kasim Tani as a ground for impeachment is a red herring. The issue of Londiani accident, we already explained, and I would like to explain again, that it was the committee and the activities of that committee were in the hands of central government. They were not in the hands of the county government. And the person who was chairing those proceedings was the county commissioner. The signatories to the accounts was the county commissioner and members of those committees. And Mr. Speaker, sir, when I asked the question to the witness who came to bring that issue, he admitted that indeed the governor did not sit in that committee, was not a signatory to those accounts, and there is nowhere where he is associated with those funds. It is also significant that the witness says that much as these things happened in 2023, they have not deemed it necessary to complain either to EACC or DCI or to any other entity if they were aggrieved about these funds. And so it is our contention that this issue has been brought solely for purposes of injuring the good name of the governor. Two last issues I wish to mention about this Kasim Tani issue and Londiani is that they relate to the period, the financial year 2022-2023. And Mr. Speaker, sir, as we pointed out when we asked the questions to the witness who came to testify on this issue, it is true that it is not captured in the Auditor General's reports, so that if it were to be the case that indeed any money was lost or there was any impropriety, our expectation is that it would have been captured. The fact that it is not captured is an indication that indeed these allegations are completely baseless. I would like then to come to the allegations that were brought to the County Assembly on 5th of August 2025. And before I discuss the particulars of our defense in respect to that, I would like again to invite the honorable senators and Mr. Speaker, sir, to the point we made in regard to that issue. The first one we made was that the governor was not given an opportunity to react and act on those reports. And the witness admitted that the reports were made on or around 5th of August 2025, and the motion, actually, let me correct myself. He said the reports were brought into the Assembly on 5th of August. And those reports provided for a period on average of 28 days within which the governor was to act. However, the next day, before the expiry of the 28 days, and in fact before the expiry of even 1 day, on the 6th of August, the impeachment motion was initiated. And it is our contention that that is an indication of bad faith and political motivation in this impeachment initiative. It is our contention also that if the governor were to be looked at as having failed in his oversight role, he needed to have gotten time to act and to have failed to have acted. Now, discussing the various various items of that those new allegations relating to NAV, CDP, FLOCA, and strategic infrastructural projects, the allegations of dismissals, we would like to explain that particularly FLOCA and NAV CDP are projects that are foreign funded. They are donor funded projects. Each of those projects have clear budget lines, they have clear work plans, they have cascaded means of ensuring that there is accountability, both even on issues of procurement and audits of works done. And to the extent, therefore, that the works are going on and that subsequent works cannot proceed until the previous one has been audited and accounts provided, to the extent, therefore, that those works are still going on, is an indicator that those projects are in good shape. However, the governor takes the position that if it were to be the case that there is any impropriety, he needs time to look at it and to act on them. But otherwise, he insists that there is no impropriety, and that if there were any improprieties, the donors who are supporting these projects would have raised it. The complainants who have come to you would have even written to the EACC, which they have not done. On the other projects, including the strategic intervention projects, the issues of contract, the issues of procurements, the issue of splitting contracts, the issue of public address, the issue of tents, and the other house renovations, Mr. Speaker, sir, the governor maintains that he needed time to look at it and to act. The fact that the report by the committee came on 5th and he was being impeached on 6th is such that it deprived him of an opportunity to counter-check the allegations contained in those reports and to have acted. But collateral to that, the governor in his affidavit has explained that indeed he has already handed over documents related, or rather he has instructed his people to hand over the documents related to those projects to the EACC for further investigations. And may I say also related to the old cases, that is Kasim Taani and Londiani, the governor has also, the issues are under investigation by EACC. And secondly, through the witnesses, we were able to show that most of the people who were involved in those activities, in those projects, have been either subjected to disciplinary proceedings and some have been required to retire. And for those reasons, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is our contention that there is no nexus whatsoever between any improprieties related to funds, procurements, and the other allegations raised between the governor and those situations. I would like to address this issue of the private property the same way we did when we raised it at the outset. The property that is being referred to is not private property, it is public property. And governor insists that it is private property and is determined to recover it. There is the contention and purport that there is a court determination saying that that is a private property. As we pointed out, and consequent to our pointing out, the county assembly has shied away from showing you the judgment. The decision that was made by the court was that the ground should not be used as a dumping ground until a NEMA certification is obtained. There is nowhere where it is said that it is private property. And even if the county assembly, in its totality, were to try to team up with this person who is trying to grab public property and use impeachment as a threat to the governor to cede the quest to recover the land, the governor is determined to recover the public land. Now, I would like then to answer a few questions that have been raised, especially in the course of the submissions today. The first one is the issue that my learned friend, Mr. Angoya, has extensively referred to, the issues of the joint affidavits, one by both Martin and Edna, and the other one by the 18 MCS. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I had earlier on taken the position that it is proper to have signed a joint affidavit. However, even if it were to be the case that there is any impropriety or any compromise of the impact of those affidavits by reason of joint signing, it is our position that each of those witnesses came here, took an oath, and testified. That is good enough to supplement any shortcomings in those affidavits, and that their testimony is solid to the extent to which they took oath and testified here. The allegations of negative comments made in reference to Geoffrey Bett are denied, and in the course of the testimony of Mr. Geoffrey Bett, he agreed that he has not taken any action if he was aggrieved. He has not complained to the Public Service Board, who are his employers. He has not reported to any police station. He has not reported to any labor court. He has not reported to any civil court. He has not taken out any constitutional action. And therefore, it is our position that it is not true. And if it were true, he would have taken action. And as honorable senators may have seen, he clearly was strongly willed. And if indeed it was true that these allegations were true, then he would have already made a complaint. The other argument that has been made by my learned colleagues for the county assembly is that by reason of not calling these witnesses, the governor is shielding them. As we have explained, in respect to the old cases, Kasim Tani, Londiani, and the others, the governor has taken action. In respect to these complaints that arose on 5th of August, attendant to which he was process of impeachment started on 6th of August, he needs time to look at them, and he couldn't rush into, it can't be said that he's shielding them because he needs time to have looked at it and determined if there is any issues and deal with them. And then my learned friend, Mr. Ongoya, made a very funny comment saying that there is a certain impropriety in the governor meeting the MCS. It is our position that there is absolutely no impropriety in the possibility of leaders meeting. And there is the contention, therefore, that the governor met some MCS is completely misplaced. Now, I would like to say a few more things before I go to the next step. The first one is to say, Mr. Speaker, sir, on our preliminary objection, that there is unanimity on all the three experts on the two most material issues. The first one is that they are all unanimous that they cannot confirm whether the three MCS voted. They cannot confirm that. Now, when you juxtapose that with the affidavit of the developer of the software, Mr. Alfred Korir, at page 23, at paragraph 23, sorry, where he says it is simple, accurate, verifiable, particularly emphasis on the use of the words verifiable, secure, and accurate. To the extent, therefore, that he intended this system to be verifiable and accurate, to the extent that we cannot determine who the three MCS, whether or not the three MCS voted, to the extent that we cannot do that, it is true then that this paragraph is bailed out. It is not true that that system was verifiable. The second thing that they are all agreed on the other thing that the witness agreed on is that indeed the records of the county assembly contain details of the payroll and ID numbers for the various MCS, and that if somebody was determined to get them, especially within the establishment of the county assembly, they could get them. With us, in that context, therefore, it is our contention that indeed it was possible for somebody else to vote, and that the three experts admit that if you get those credentials, you could vote. So that there are those two admissions, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable senators. Number one, that with the credentials, anybody could have voted for those MCS. And number two, that they are not able to trace back those three votes to the three MCS. Now, the last thing I wish to say, as I spare a few minutes for my client, is that we would like, honorable senators and Mr. Speaker, sir, that you take on board these as you consider the propriety of that system that was used to vote. Number one, we pointed out in the course of testimony that indeed the answer has been edited. It has been edited so that it is not consistent with the audio recording of the events. Number two, it is true that a few minutes before the movement of the motion on 6th of August, by the mover of motion, who, as we cross-examined him, we maintain is in collusion with the Speaker, 6 MCAs, there was an attempt to remove 6 MCAs with a view to reducing the numbers or otherwise to intimidate them to support the impeachment of the governor. Number 3 is the question that indeed there was an option to do a roll call voting. Nobody, not even my learned colleagues for the county assembly, have explained why they could not just take a straight and simple process that could have resolved the issue. And for all those reasons, and then the rush to set up this thing at night and to insist on using it, even when the nays, I'd say, were louder than the ayes. For all those reasons, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable senators, we pray as a first line of our prayers that you do find that the system was not adequate to satisfy you that any voting took place and that the 2/3 threshold was met. As a second line, we pray that you do find that indeed no evidence and no material and no grounds have been adduced adequate to place a requirement on you to impeach the governor. With that said, Mr. Speaker, sir, I have 4 more minutes. I would like to request my client to just say a few minutes within that time limit.
Mr. Speaker, sir, and the honorable senators of this great house, the upper house, I stand again before you this evening, even as we make our final submission, that, first of all, I'm grateful for the time the senators have sat for these 3 days and under your leadership, and to also indicate that, as my lead counsel have indicated, we have made our submissions on the circumstances that has been laid on me. Mr. Speaker, the report, as I said in my earlier remarks, came to me at the 5th, and it was sent to my offices. I received it on 6th, addressed to the clerk, addressed to the county secretary, and marked to the Public Service Board, another address to me. It's on that same very day that the impeachment motion was tabled. It was then very difficult for me to have sat at that time to analyze the reports and be able to make implementation. I wish to state here, Mr. Speaker, sir, that as we ponder over this matter, during this period of impeachment right from the Assembly to where we are today, the EACC and the DCIE wrote to the county government of Kericho requesting documents for the same issues that has been mentioned. As a governor, I instructed the officers responsible, the county secretary, to submit the documents to the respective investigating agencies for action. I wish to commit before you, Mr. Speaker. I know how weighty the matters are before us. Mr. Speaker, I wish to submit before you and the senators that, given a chance again, I'll be able to implement the reports in totality and also be able to implement what the investigating agencies, as the DCI and the EACC, will recommend for us to act upon. We further commit, Mr. Speaker, sir, that where there is elements of culpabilities, not only for now, but even in the future, on the state officers, it is my commitment that as we take leadership of Kericho to a step higher and notch, that we will do whatever possible to protect the resources of our people. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, sir, and the honorable senators, as an individual, I know that I do not claim perfection. I have flaws just like any other human being. My 2 years journey in political leadership has been learning of lessons. And when I look around the political environment that we have been, I pray to this Senate that should I get a chance from this great house, I would also set upon myself to be able to reach out to the entire leadership of Kericho County, especially the MCS and their speaker and also the deputy governor, and be able to strike a working relationship with them, of course, together with the senator of Kericho County and the members of parliament from the county government of Kericho, and be able to strike a working relationship with them so that, Mr. Speaker, it allows us, because this is the second last financial year before really the end of this 5-year cycle, to allow us to be able to deliver for the people of Kericho County. We have had our triumphs, we have had also our challenges, just like any other leadership and any flaws. And Mr. Speaker, I rise to, as I conclude, to speak to the great churches here and the senators here that have been listening to this case, that as you have listened and the evidence adduced to you, that the processes has been tabled to you, showing how flawed it was. But however, I offer myself that out of this, we will be able to step up the leadership of Kericho County and people again to work together with a great energy and strike a reconciliatory tone so that we are able to deliver for the mandate of our people. I wish to thank the honorable senators for the opportunity you have given us and the time you have given to listen to us. I know it's been a challenging time. It's also been trying for me, psychologically torturing, and it's been one of my lowest moments to be here in this Senate again for the second time. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I pray that the senators will find a place in their hearts to look into the matters that we have raised and give us a chance again to work for the great people of Kericho County. Asanteni sana, and may God bless all of us. Asante sana.
Now, honorable senators, ladies and gentlemen, having concluded the closing statements by the parties, the Senate will proceed into a camera session for 15 minutes, pursuant to Rule 27 of the Rules of Procedure. That is for the hearing and determination on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Dr. Eric Mutai, the Governor of Kericho County. The objective of the in-camera session is to ensure that the process is concluded seamlessly, timeously, and in line with the requirements set out under the Constitution and the County Government Act and the Senate Standing Orders. Now, honorable senators, during this session, the parties, all members of public and the media will be expected to withdraw from the chamber and the galleries, and any form of broadcasting from the chamber shall cease forthwith. Consequently, I now direct the parties, all members of the public and media, to withdraw from the chamber and the galleries, and that any form of broadcast from the chamber to cease forthwith. It is now 9:35. We will resume open session at exactly 9:50. Thank you.
Video calendar.
Luke, what's going on over there?
I'm doing the work. I'm doing everything.
You're way too scatterbrained. You are using way too many tools. You can get it all done with ClickUp. It houses your docs. You can share calendars. You can share files. You can chat with your team. You can video conference, and it's all powered with AI. Here, use ClickUp.
Oh, this is cool. What does this app do?
Everything.
Thanks.
Best I can within that time limit, then we'll take further direction. Okwon Job Oguya, that's your name, correct?
Yes.
Do you know a person called Weldon Kipiegon Langat? You know, either you do or you don't.
I believe I know.
Knowledge of somebody is not belief.
Yes.
Either you know somebody or do you know somebody called Weldon Kipiegon Langat?
Yes.
How well do you know him?
Not so well. We just met. We met yesterday.
Mr. Oguya, we'll need to start on an honest note. How well do you know Weldon Kipiegon Langat?
Not very well.
Just put your mouth on the microphone and address the speaker directly. How well do you know Weldon Kipiegon Langat?
Not very well.
For how long have you known him?
Just this week.
You knew him just this week?
Yes.
When he was contracting you to sign this report?
Okay. For purposes of...
No, you knew him when he was contracting you to sign this report. True or not true?
I physically...
Witness, can you please answer the question?
I physically knew him when this week. But
I'm saying you knew him when he was contracting you to sign this report. That is a very critical question because you are dealing with a professional. You knew him when he was contracting you to sign this report. True or not true?
True.
Truth is, Weldon Kipyegon report, Langat prepared this report and got you to sign it. True or not true?
Not true.
I'm saying the truth is, Weldon Kipyegon Langat prepared this report and procured you to put your signature on it. Please reflect on that question and answer.
No.
What interaction did you have with Weldon Kipyegon Langat this week?
There was no solid interaction with him.
Give us the liquid or gaseous one.
I believe it was just on the system check.
What about the system check? Because that's the critical question keeping these senators here today. What about it?
That was, as a team of IT experts, it's just to hit the wall and find out somebody's observance of the system.
You observed this system with him?
No, we observed.
So what interaction did you have with the Weldon Kipyegon Langat? That is my simple and straightforward question.
As I've said, the interaction was just on maybe name basis.
It can't be maybe. You knew Weldon Langat this week. You had a specific interaction with him. What interaction did you have with him?
And as I've said, it was more of just observation of the system, but no more details, in-depth details.
Tell us what exactly that entailed, that more of observation. What particulars, what did you do with him regarding the system?
For us on our side, we just shared what we had observed, but we did not get information from him.
I've told you earlier, Weldon Kipyegon Langat, the one who contracted to sign this report, you have denied.
The report was made by us.
I've said he's the one who contracted to sign this report, you have denied. What interaction did you have with Weldon Kipyegon Langat? And remember always, I only ask questions whose answers I know. So proceed. What interaction did you have with Weldon Kipyegon Langat?
And that's why I've said we didn't have, that is the only thing that we interacted.
I don't even know what it is. So now state it. What is it? I want to understand what it is.
That is observation of the system. That's observation of...
Okay, tell us what observation of the system entails, the particulars of observation of the system.
That is, if it's secure.
You interacted with Weldon Kipyegon Langat regarding if the system is secure?
Yeah.
What were his observations?
On his side, I don't believe...
What were his observations on that issue?
I can't recall I can't recall his answer.
Sorry, Mr. Job Oguya, you are an adult. Yes?
Yes.
Let's admit what we can, deny what we can, but within parameters of truth. You interacted with Weldon Kipyegon Langat this week. The first aspect of interaction was observation if this system is secure. Is that what you told these senators? Is that what you've told these senators?
Yes, that's after our report.
What were his observations regarding the security of the system?
I can't recall. I can't recall what.
You discussed with Weldon Kipyegon Langat regarding this system that keeps these senators here, and you can't remember anything about his observations. Yes?
Yes, because we did.
No, not because. You interacted with Weldon Kipyegon Langat this week regarding this system that is at the center of this motion, and you can't remember anything he said about it. Is that your statement?
Yes.
The only business that brought you and Weldon Kipyegon Langat this week was this system. Did you have any other business?
No.
This is the only agenda that brought you together with Weldon, this system. Correct?
Correct.
And you have forgotten everything that Weldon Kipyegon Langat told you regarding this singular agenda, isn't it?
Maybe you can get together because of a certain.
I'm not seeking hypothesis. I'm seeking facts. You interacted with Weldon Kipyegon Langat for a single agenda, being this system, this week, and you have forgotten everything he told you about that agenda. True or not true?
That is true.
The truth being you have forgotten everything.
Not that I've forgotten anything.
The truth being?
The truth being that we just observed and we did not go.
That's a different question.
Yes.
I am saying, I've asked you, what were the observations of Weldon Kipyegon Langat regarding the security of this system? You have said.
What's your point of order, Senator Dancer?
I think we have observed that the question has been repeated several times. Mr. Speaker, that is called badgering a witness. A witness can say, I know, or I don't know, or I don't remember, and you move to the next question. Mr. Speaker, we are not going to spend the afternoon here listening to the same question repeated several times. We must make progress. We must make progress. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mugatana, let's allow the witness to answer the question and we proceed. So Senator Mugatana, you overruled that let the witness proceed to answer the question. Question, witness. Don't interrupt, honorable senators. Let's proceed on. We save time. Proceed, witness.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Counsel, please advance your conversation or interrogation with the witness.
My apologies, Madam Speaker, if I appear to have badgered the witness. It's not in my nature to do that, but let me point out, Job Oguya, I have sought to know what aspects of this system you discussed with Weldon Kipyegon Langat. You have told me you discussed the security of this system. Is that the correct position?
Yes.
I have sought to know what the views, the observations of Weldon Kipyegon Langat were regarding the security of this system this week.
Maybe ask again. I've not got your question.
Counsel, please advance your questions. There are certain answers given by this witness.
Thank you.
Advance your question.
Thank you.
I know
let me now move
witness.
to the clincher. You know that Weldon Kipyegon Langat is the ICT advisor at the governor's office in Kericho County. Do you know that?
No, I don't know.
When you met Weldon Kipyegon Langat, he told you where does he work? What does he do for a living?
We did not exchange those pleasantries.
So you are interacting with him regarding this system as who? What was his capacity as you interacted with him?
this system we are interacting with various people within the team.
No. Just answer my question regarding Weldon Kipyegon Langat. You interacted with him in his capacity as who?
Frankly, we don't know his capacity.
You met a stranger whose capacity you don't know and began discussing with him this system. Is that the correct position?
Yes, but he wasn't.
Thank you. Let me make progress.
Yes.
Let's now go to the substance of your report. Your report is at volume 5 of the governor's document from page 29 to page 37. Is that correct?
Yes.
But then let me pause back a little, Madam Speaker. Not good. Let me put some question first. Who contracted you as a professional to do this report? Who was your client in preparing this report?
We were brought in by the lawyers.
Who was your client? You know, a client is somebody who is known. Lawyer is a generic word. Who was your client? Who is paying your fees? Who is your client?
It's the governor's team, which includes the lawyers and the consultants.
Did you talk to a particular person to do this work, a particular human being by name? Did a particular person contract you? Or was the letter signed by a particular person?
Please repeat.
Counsel, you know that question is answered. He's given you the team that contracted him. Please move on to next question. Advance.
Madam Speaker, my apologies. The question of the lawyers has been answered, and now I know which lawyer by name. It's a different question.
Proceed.
Thank you. Give us the name of the lawyer who contracted you.
This was, I believe, we were. It was. I believe it was Peter.
Give us the full name of the lawyer, kindly. I don't know a lawyer, but generic name Peter. What's the full name of the lawyer?
Peter Wanyama.
Peter Wanyama is the one who contracted you.
Who contacted us? Yes.
Let me go to that report now, in the interest of time. In your presentation before the Senate, you have made comments on the IP addresses from pages 29 to page 33 of volume 4A. Do you remember making those observations?
Yes.
Mr. Carter, a witness may need his bundle. My apologies. Volume 4A. Yes. You have made observations on the IP addresses at pages 29 to 33. You remember that?
Yes. Yes.
Let's go to your report. Which part of your report addresses those IP addresses? Give us a page number in your volume 5.
Counsels, can you assist your witness to open the pages so that we save on time?
Volume 4A, I asked now the part of his report. His report runs from, in volume 5, my apologies, from page 29 all the way to page 39. I want him to point us to the part of that report that addresses the issue of these IP addresses.
Okay. These,
Madam Speaker, I just wish to make a observation. The witness is taking so much time to answer my question. My time is running out.
it's not captured.
These things you have been telling us here about these IP addresses are nowhere in your report.
Then they're not captured directly on the report.
No, I want to know whether they are indirectly captured. Where? Which part of the report indirectly captures them?
Witness, can you answer the question?
It's not there.
Sorry?
It's not captured.
Oh, it is not even indirectly captured. Let me move. You have also talked about Mark.
Counsel, you have a balance of 2 minutes to finish your cross-examination. Proceed.
Thank you, Anna. Let me deal with the time as remaining. I'll deal with that issue when the time runs out, because you've seen how the witness behaves with me. You have also talked about the issue of MAC addresses in the course of your evidence in chief. You remember that?
Yes.
Which part of your report addresses the issue of MAC addresses? Give us a page number.
There's no report on that, on this report.
In summary, so that I close over that issue, you have testified on matters outside your report this afternoon. True or not true?
That is some of the matters. That is true.
Sorry, I didn't get the answer.
For some of the matters, that is true.
Thank you. Let me make progress. Allow me, and you know I'm really strained for time now, but allow me to do the best I can with that. Let us go to the recommendations at page 39. To the recommendations at page.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Give yourself 28.
Impeachment charges. If, however, the Senate finds that the two-thirds threshold of 32 members of the County Assembly was met, then the Senate shall proceed to determine if the impeachment charges have been substantiated by voting thereon. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 2, hearing and determination on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of the Honorable Dr. Eric Mutai, Governor of Kericho County. Order number 3, notices of motion.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to give notice of 2 motions. The first motion is for the ascertainment of the threshold required for the impeachment of Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, the Governor of Kericho County. That aware that pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Government Act, on Friday, 15th August 2025, the County Assembly of Kericho approved a motion for the removal from office by impeachment of the Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, Governor of Kericho County, and noting that by a letter referenced KCA/SP/3 Volume 1/39, dated Friday, 15th August 2025, and received in the office of the Speaker of the Senate on Monday, 18th August 2025, the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kericho informed the Speaker of the Senate of the removal of the approval of the motion by the County Assembly, and further forwarded the Speaker to the Speaker of the Senate documents in evidence of the proceedings of the Assembly, including a list of 33 out of 47 members of the County Assembly that voted in favor of the removal from office by impeachment of Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, the Governor of Kericho County. Further noting that in the course of the hearing, an important question arose on whether the threshold of 32 votes needed for impeachment of a governor, as accompanied in Section 33 of the County Governments Act and Standing Order number 74 of the County Assembly of Kericho, was made, and considering the evidence adduced before the Senate by the parties on the issue, and further considering the report on the County Assembly of Kericho Chamber electronic voting system submitted by ICT experts on the invitation of the Senate, now therefore, the Senate resolves that the threshold required for removal of a governor from office by impeachment, contemplated in Section 33 of the County Government Act and Standing Order number 74 of the County Assembly of Kericho, was made. End of motion 1. Motion 2, Mr. Speaker, sir. I give notice to the hearing and determination on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of the Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, the Governor of Kericho County. That whereas pursuant to Article number 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, on Friday, 15th August 2025, the County Assembly of Kericho approved a motion for the removal from office by impeachment of the Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, the Governor of Kericho County. Further, whereas by letter referenced number KCA/SP/3 Volume 1 /39, dated Friday, 15th August 2025, and received in the office of the Speaker on Monday, 18th August 2025, the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kericho informed the Speaker of the Senate of the approval of a motion by the County Assembly, and further forwarded to the Speaker of the Senate documents in evidence of the proceedings of the Assembly. Further, whereas pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Governments Act, and Standing Order number 80 of the Senate heard the County Assembly on the grounds for the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, the Governor of Kericho County, and further, whereas pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Governments Act, and Standing Order number 80 of the Senate also heard the Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai on the grounds for his removal from office by impeachment as the Governor of Kericho. Now therefore, pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Governments Act, and Standing Order number 80 of the Senate now resolves to remove from office by impeachment the Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, the Governor of Kericho, on the following grounds. Charge 1, gross violation of the Constitution and other laws. Charge 2, abuse of office. And charge 3, gross misconduct. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 4, motion ascertainment of the threshold required for the impeachment of Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, the Governor of Kericho County.
Senate Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the House will bear with me. Before I start, I must introduce the motion. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to move the following motion. Being the ascertainment of the threshold required for the impeachment of the Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, the Governor of Kericho County. That aware that pursuant to standing order to Article 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, on Friday, 15th August 2025, the County Assembly of Kericho approved a motion for the removal from office by impeachment of the Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, the Governor of Kericho County, and noting that by letter reference number KCA/SP/3 Volume 1/39, dated Friday, 15th August 2025, and received in the office of the Speaker of the Senate on Monday, 18th August 2025, the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kericho informed the Speaker of the Senate of the approval of the motion by the Assembly, and further forwarded to the Speaker of the Senate documents in evidence of the proceedings of the Assembly, including the list of 33 out of 47 members of the County Assembly that voted in favor of the removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, the Governor of Kericho. Further, noting that in the course of hearing, an important question arose on whether the threshold of 32 votes needed for impeachment of a governor, as contemplated in Section 33 of the County Governments Act and Standing Order Number 74 of the County Assembly of Kericho, was made, considering the evidence adduced before the Senate by the parties on the issues, and further considering the report on the County Assembly of Kericho Chamber electronic voting system submitted by the ICT experts on the invitation of the Senate. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves that the threshold required for removal of the governor from office by impeachment, contemplated in Section 33 of the County Governments Act and Standing Order Number 74 of the County Assembly of Kericho, was made. Mr. Speaker, this is a preliminary objection. And Mr. Speaker, as you pointed out earlier, should we find that the threshold required was made, that would be the end of business this evening. If it was, Mr. Speaker, if the threshold of 32 was not met, if it was not met, then that will be the end of business this evening. Otherwise, we will proceed to the next motion. Mr. Speaker, it is very interesting that 2 days ago, we celebrated 15 years after the promulgation of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Mr. Speaker, fortuitously, this debate is taking place at a time when in public domain there are people who think that men and women of this House do not have their own minds, do not have the capacity to make a decision on such a huge thing. So to me, This is a God-given opportunity. Let us do a good job so that we bring to shame those people who have no respect for other people who sit in offices other than the offices they themselves sit in. Mr. Speaker, just like you maybe, I have been helpless from the beginning up to the end of the hearing of the evidence on the PO. We have been thrown from one position to the other by this witness or that other witness. Members, you have seen witnesses from both parties flip and flop. You have seen, Mr. Speaker, others outrightly lying on oath. Mr. Speaker, you have even seen others contradicting themselves, those witnesses. And what's more, you have had, for the first time in our history in this parliament, you've seen a witness by the name of Edna rescind her signed affidavit. Mr. Speaker, in some cases, and there were many, in excess of 16, we saw witnesses here who had no sworn affidavit. They were speaking to a collective so-called affidavit. Mr. Speaker, because of the president of the Senior Counsel, Omugeni, and many other eminent lawyers, including Justice Madayo, we know that we were at pains to find out how we would cross-examine and how we would seek further clarity from these people who swore, these witnesses who swore on a collective affidavit. Mark you, the affidavit were being sworn in respect of electronic voting. If they were being sworn collectively, in the case of voice vote, then maybe you would say, in voice vote, we vote as a group. But electronic voting is an individual responsibility. So any witness coming here wanting to give us an affidavit on how they voted or didn't vote electronically, it had to be in the single person. Mr. Speaker, we have seen something unprecedented about a lawyer who purports to vote in a county assembly process, something which was then controverted by the expert who said that there was no evidence whatsoever that this lawyer voted. What's more, the County Assembly of Kericho and calls for members of the County Assembly to abide by his request. They stand. What is more, Mr. Speaker, the same council has tried to mislead this House by saying that there was interference with the voting logs. The expert who came confirmed that such an interference was not there. This is a good opportunity for us to speak to all respective professions, be it the legal profession, architectural, whatever, that people must live within the oath of office that you take when you qualify from a particular discipline. Mr. Speaker, I'll keep it short by saying the following as my last request. That we are lucky. I don't know whether it was the wisdom of the Speaker or the wisdom of the leader of the majority with the Speaker and the leader of the minority with the Speaker and others, when the House made a decision, as communicated by the Speaker, that this House must call for an expert, independent ID. Can you imagine where we would have been? When the first expert came, this expert was from the county assembly. He carried most of us along. But when the lawyers descended on him, we became confused. We didn't know whether to believe him or not. Subsequently, when the team of the governor then brought its own version of an expert, it was a bigger disaster. In fact, it is the senator of Narok who captured it. He said that his affidavit was more about a collection of his credentials. And when I looked at the credentials, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished senators, it was nothing impressive. The only serious credential there was bachelor in computer science. Otherwise, the other things were diploma here, the other things, some course training there, nothing that is, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, you'll have your time, my brother. You'll have your, although the system could be better, but as of the time of voting, it was credible.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for impeaching a governor has been met. Mr. Speaker, I'll be brief to the point. I will try not to be sensational, but factual. There are times for being sensational, but there are times for being factual. Mr. Speaker, with me here, I hold 2 audit reports of a system. One audit report is allegedly an expert who have been presented by the county governor of Kericho, who 30 pages out of 37 pages, 39 pages is mere credentials of an IT expert, not really taking us to the issues of whether the threshold was met. The Constitution of Kenya in Article 182 requires that 2/3 is met. And in Kericho County, there are 47 members of the County Assembly, which means this Senate has determined that the threshold is 32. That was an issue that we debated. Others think it's 31. But in this case, the ICT Authority of Kenya determined that according to the evidence presented, 33 members of the County Assembly voted to impeach the county governor of Kericho. Mr. Speaker, all of us here are litigant, one way or the other. I have never, in my history of litigation and going to court, sworn an adjoined affidavit with my co-witness. In fact, when I first saw that affidavit, I said this affidavit is defective, because an affidavit is deponed by one individual person under oath. I want to deliver the point. The issue is very clear. When it comes to voting in this House, Mr. Speaker, we have 3 choices of voting. You either vote to the affirmative and say yes, or you vote no, or you abstain.
Honorable Senators, I will now propose the questions. Order, Senator Fomeru. Order. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves that the threshold required for removal of a governor from office by impeachment, contemplated in Section 33 of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 74 of the County Assembly of Kericho, was met. Now, Honorable Senators, the floor is open for debate. But again, going to the agreement that was negotiated between the 2 sides. We'll have 4 members speak from the minority side and 4 members speak from the majority side, each speaking for more than 4 minutes. Not more than 4 minutes. You need not utilize the 4. I will start with Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will restrict myself to IT issues. Mr. Speaker, you made a decision that this House hires an IT expert so that we can be guided on the issue of the IT system that was deployed for voting. And that would give us a pointer as to whether the threshold was met or not. Mr. Speaker, I have gone through the report by the expert, and allow me to point out the inconsistencies that I've seen in the report. Mr. Speaker, this report is basically a production of the extracts from volume 4A of the County Assembly bundles. If you look at the logs, it's the same. If you look at the list of users of the system, it's the same. But there are only two things that have been included. And this is contained on page 13, where the expert attempted to do an IP lookup for that IP address that had been. And the inconsistency here indicates that the city is Leten town. Mr. Speaker, we all know that the County Assembly of Kericho is in Kericho town, if I'm not wrong. But this lookup brings Leten town. I have a problem with that. Mr. Speaker, I've taken the trouble to do the IP lookup for all the other IP addresses that have been provided on page 29 of the County Assembly bundles, volume 4A. If you look at the lookup results, Mr. Speaker, you'll be shocked that the lookup results indicates that these devices were in different towns in Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Kiambu, Kijabe, Eldoret, Ahero, Narok, Yala, Baringo, Nyandarua, and Kapsabet. And Mr. Speaker, I attempted to ask this House to give us an opportunity to demonstrate that on the screen. I was denied that opportunity. I would like to ask this House that we can still do an IP lookup and we determine the physical location of these devices. These devices I proposed, Mr. Speaker, were phones that were used to vote. Mr. Speaker, an issue was raised about IP address, which had been used 9 times, 41.139.238.129. And we were told that that was a Wi-Fi that was shared. But Mr. Speaker, there is an IP address, another one, that has been used 3 times. 154.1. Answer that question.
You have exhausted your time, Senator. All right. 2 minutes, you conclude. 2 minutes, you conclude.
If you look at the only thing that my student, because this Philip was my student, I trained him on ITIL, which is an international standard on IT security. The only other serious thing that I've seen is on page 16, where the expert tried to bring a checklist that is used in international ICT audit. But this checklist, Mr. Speaker, if you go through it, there are no supporting documents to this report. They are not supporting. Everywhere except 2 instances is indicated no. The rest are yes. But there are no supporting documents to support, including the matter of training, whether training for the system was done or not. Mr. Speaker, I want this House to note that you as truly was an expert in presidential petition, Raila Odinga versus IBC, together with Senator Kajwang. And our evidence on the same matter, results transmission, annulled the election, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to take you Article 86 of the Constitution on voting methods. It says the voting method must be simple, accurate, verifiable, secure, accountable, and transparent. Mr. Speaker, this does not qualify in any way to meet the basic requirement under Article 86 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, this House's credibility has been questioned. We have an opportunity to decide whether we want to continue being condemned outside there or make the right decision. I want to urge this House that we need to send back these MCS to do the right job and bring back the right voting numbers. Whether this has met the threshold or not, I want to.
Senator Mungatana.
Mr. Speaker, I want to, first of all, agree with the mover of the motion on one issue. And that's the only issue I'm going to agree with Bonnie Khalwale. That this House must be respected by everybody, by every office. And Mr. Speaker, this House has donated none other than the Deputy President and Cabinet Ministers. So it must be respected by everybody, Mr. Speaker. And I come to my point. Mr. Speaker, I disagree with the mover of this motion. I totally disagree. There is doubt as to the numbers of the people who actually participated in the voting. There is doubt. There is doubt. And you cannot escape that because we have been sitting here for the last 3 days, Mr. Speaker, and every person who has spoken to this matter, Mr. Speaker, including the experts, they have created doubt and continue to create doubt. Mr. Speaker, we are sitting here as a quasi-judicial unit. In fact, it is a criminal case that we are handling, almost like a criminal case. And the question that we must ask ourselves is, what is the standard that must be met when we are proving things? What is the standard? And if we can agree what the standard is, then we should not have a problem with rejecting this motion. Mr. Speaker, we borrow heavily from the American system. In the US, Mr. Speaker, 8 governors have been impeached, and 5 of them have been sent home. 3 have survived, one of them having resigned before the process was completed. Mr. Speaker, in the US, the test is very simple. They say it is legal evidence plus political tests. But Mr. Speaker, here in Kenya, we have a standard that is divided into 2. And I want to propose, Mr. Speaker, that when the motion is coming from the county assembly, when we are talking about the issues of threshold, Mr. Speaker, the standard must be like the criminal level standard. It must be beyond reasonable doubt. It must be. On these other motions, on these other charges, then we can adopt the American standard of saying it is legal evidence and political test. But on the question from the county assembly, Mr. Speaker, it must be beyond reasonable doubt. Mr. Speaker, here they have said that the expert report, the ICT authority, is to be followed like it is from the Bible. But Mr. Speaker, he himself, I heard him say that if you have the credentials of the ID and the IDDP, any person could actually vote. He said it himself here. And Mr. Speaker, the other senators are not telling us that that report was not signed by the side of the governors. They did not sign it because they did not agree with it. The ICT man disappeared for 2 hours, and when he came, he was not speaking to anybody. Mr. Speaker,
Senator Professor Tom Ojenda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will address myself to the threshold issue based on the evidence tendered before Senate. Mr. Speaker, witness statements were shown to us from pages 113 and other individual witness statements thereafter. 18 witnesses, Mr. Speaker, testified in a manner as to recant their signature or their vote on the day that voting occurred. That raises doubt, Mr. Speaker. 2, Mr. Speaker, the report that was apparently brought to this House by the IT expert seemed not to have achieved concurrence. It therefore did not conform to the terms of reference that was set or that was set by the Senate for this report to pass the test of authenticity or concurrence of all those who sat to make this report. Mr. Speaker, thirdly, Mr. Speaker, impeachments are not under Articles 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Government Act, are set on a threshold that is cast in stone. And that threshold, Mr. Speaker, as cast in stone, speaks to a minimum of 32 MCAs for Kericho County. The moment there's doubt as to a vote, Mr. Speaker, then that doubt must be resolved in favor of the governor. Mr. Speaker, I say this not because I want to be a governor or that I hold a PhD like the governor being impeached, Mr. Speaker, but because I speak the truth. And we must uphold, Mr. Speaker, and protect the office of governor in the same manner, Mr. Speaker, as we protect any other officers. Mr. Wambu, I know you want to be governor. Keep quiet. So, Mr. Speaker, it is that doubt or that shred of doubt, Mr. Speaker, that leads me to the conclusion, Mr. Speaker, and I agree with the analysis of Osotsi, Senator Osotsi, that we cannot sacrifice the governor at the altar of an unverified system. It is unethical and we will not do that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, first, I want to disagree with the move of the motion. First, Honorable Speaker, on the issue of credentials, you know, I heard Senator Boni Kalwale say the expert from the governor's team, other than a degree, it was dotted with some diploma here and there. I want to remind Boni Kalwale that diploma is a recognized qualification in the Kenya education system. And if he has forgotten, I also want to remind him that his house was built by a person with a diploma in building. Yes. And even as we say that the expert from the governor provided a document that was littered with qualification, the expert from ICT Authority, the only thing that we have in this report is his title, Deputy Director of ICT. We don't even know whether he's really an expert. Honorable Speaker, having said that, I'm also an ICT person. And there are very basic things in ICT security you must look at. And all of us know Even when you are opening your own email and you create a password, the system alone will tell you that password is not strong. And there are things that you are not allowed to use as a password, things like identity card number. Honorable Speaker, even as we sit here as senators, our files are in the custody of the clerk. All the staff members of the Senate handle our files. They know our ID numbers. The IPPD number is in the file. They know our IPPD numbers, Honorable Speaker. How then do you say that the credentials were so secure when we all know that ID numbers are in the files, the staff are working around with the files, they have those ID numbers, they have those credentials? Honorable Speaker, the council from the county assembly said, if an alligator leaves the water and the river and tells you the hippo is, who are you to doubt? So for us as senators of county assembly, who are they never voted, Honorable Speaker, what reason do we have to doubt that they voted? Honorable Speaker, if you look at this IP, number 41, 139, 237, 129, that appears in the IP lookup to have been in Laikipia, I highly suspect is the one that was used to vote for the 3 honorable members. Honorable Speaker, why did that IP vote for 3 members? Honorable Speaker, this impeachment was premeditated. You cannot in ICT develop a system today, launch a day before, and use it before doing what we call a test run of the system, Honorable Speaker. There is a difference between a voting system that tallies electronic data and a biometric where you just have to put your fingerprint, Honorable Speaker. Biometric is just part of electronic, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the county assembly must tell us, how do you hire an officer who has been fired by the county executive and immediately you can employ them in the county assembly for only one mission, to make sure that you impeach the governor in a manner that is...
Senator, no, you're done. No. We cannot go that route. Senator Mogeni, you have made your point. No. Senator Mogeni. Oh yes, Senator Mogeni, just take your seat. Order. 30 seconds.
Yes, in that 30 seconds, Honorable Speaker, the county assembly members are saying the governor is in gross violation of the law. I heard one member of the county assembly saying the governor should have fired the chief officers. While on the same testimony, Honorable Speaker, the MCA acknowledged that that is the work of the County Public Service Board. How then do they say that the governor has violated the laws, Honorable Speaker? Finally, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Mogeni. Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir. It is a universally accepted principle, Mr. Speaker, that you would rather acquit 10 suspects, if in doubt, than to convict one unfairly. Mr. Speaker, today is my Sabbath, and I came here to understand this system that was developed in Migori, a special purpose vehicle system that was meant to impeach the governor of Kericho. Mr. Speaker, for the 3 days that we have sat here, Mr. Speaker, on my part, I have not been able to understand this system, Mr. Speaker. I'm unable to understand, Mr. Speaker, how this system was allocated to each person in terms of devices, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is drama that has played out in this House in the eyes of the public, Mr. Speaker. An MCA, Mr. Speaker, called Martin, came to this House, Mr. Speaker,
and swore by the name of Almighty God, Mr. Speaker, that he did not cast his vote at the County Assembly of Kericho, Mr. Speaker. Do you believe the system, or do you believe the person who carried the Bible and swore before the Senate, Mr. Speaker? Whom do you trust? Is it the Bible or the system? It's the Bible, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, more drama, Mr. Speaker. The same MCA Martin, Mr. Speaker, played a video before this House that was watched by Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, where the mover of the motion, Mr. Speaker, was recorded in a discussion saying that he voted on behalf of that MCA. Does that create a doubt in the minds of senators? Yes or no? Mr. Speaker, if you are in doubt, acquit. If you have been placed in a situation where there is reasonable doubt as to whether that 3 MCAs voted, acquit, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the expert, Mr. Luvuga, I posed a question to him. I asked him, if an MCA had a link, a username, a password, could he vote on behalf of another MCA? He said, yes. Mr. Speaker, in this House, where I sit there, with that card there, if my neighbor, Senator Wambua, has my PIN, and he wanted to play mischief, Mr. Speaker, he can cast a vote on my behalf, Mr. Speaker. As I submit this evening, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the entire system, Mr. Speaker, reasonable doubt has been created as to whether the 33 MCAs who voted indeed cast their vote. Mr. Speaker, there is what we call the materiality principle. If you remove the 4 MCAs, the motion must fail, and we return it back to the MCAs. If, on the other hand, you are convinced that that 3 MCAs voted, we can move to the next step. My submission this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, is that reasonable doubt has been created as to whether the 33 MCAs voted. The only thing we can do as senators, Mr. Speaker, is to return the motion back to the MCAs in Kericho. They conduct the impeachment in a proper manner, Mr. Speaker, and return to us, Mr. Speaker. Remember the case of O.J. Simpson's. If the gloves cannot fit, acquit. In this case, Mr. Speaker, if we are not convinced that 3 MCAs indeed voted, the motion fails, and we return it back to the county.
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As the members have said, I'm an expert. And I want to report to the House that Senator Mandagoa and Senator Osotsi are my juniors in the profession. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, what members needs to be reminded, when the expert from ICT Authority was here, he said for you to vote, you need IBBD number, your ID number, and you need the link that has been sent to your phone so that you can vote. Honorable Speaker, I don't know why our memories are so short that within 2 or 3 hours, we have forgotten what the ICT expert from ICT Authority said, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, secondly, Honorable Speaker, my colleague, Senator Osotsi, said the logs that were produced by the expert from ICT Authority are the same as the ones in volume 4A of the County Assembly. That confirms, Honorable Speaker, that what the expert brought is exactly what was done at the County Assembly. Third, Honorable Speaker, if you listened to the expert from ICT Authority, Honorable Speaker, he explained in a layman's language to the senators that IB address is like a gate, like this particular, he pointed to the gate that we use, Honorable Speaker, that this is what the internet service providers use. And he gave us Safaricom, Telcom, and Airtel, Honorable Speaker, So this, the location where my colleagues are saying, it is where the service providers location. Why, Honorable Speaker? Honorable Speaker, there is a question that I put to the two experts that did you undertake penetration test? The expert from the cover